Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future.
There it is. Good morning, everybody. I was having some delay there.
Morning, Ro.
Todd's been singing for you. Good morning, everybody. Whoop. I was having some delay there.
Ricky!
I'll learn one of these days. I got to mute the YouTube channel.
Newbie.
How you doing this morning, Todd?
I am
Perky.
I'm Perky. Yeah, I'm Perky Perkerson from Perkerville. Yeah, it's might as well be happy.
Roberta was sitting over there giggling at your humming and singing.
I heard her. Morning, Ro.
Good morning.
Hope I was entertaining.
Good morning, Lag. Good morning, Mr. Sadie. Good morning, Red.
I would put a dance with it with my music like Michael Jackson, but yeah, I can't moonwalk for crap.
Good morning, James. Bum Crack, how are you this morning across the big body of water? Land Shark, hey, Craig, how are you doing this morning?
Hank says, good morning, Roberta.
Good morning, Hank.
You should put a big old heart symbol on there.
Aw, good morning.
And Bum Crack said, hello. She said, good morning, Mrs. Tom. Mrs. Tom. Let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the smoke in the wind. I went back and watched your video of you cutting grass. Did she not have to take you to the hospital, have your breathing checked?
Yeah, I have my lungs exfoliated or something. No, I'm all right. I was surprised that it didn't like choke me up and stuff.
Good morning, Julie. Because you were blowing some smoke there.
No, that lawnmower is good for another 12 years.
Yeah,
I just gotta empty some of the oil out of it that I put too much in.
Well, in a couple more years, it'll be all back down to where it's supposed to be. But I did. I was sitting there thinking, why hasn't the neighbors called the environmental people on you? But I was thinking you were on a riding lawnmower. I didn't know you were pushing it.
Yeah, I got a self-propelled pusher. My yard it's big enough for me, but it's not huge, so.
Was it Gwen just walked by?
Yeah.
Did you move your office?
I've been in the bat cave for about 6 months. Tom, where have you been?
I just noticed the window back there in the back.
Yeah, that's the French doors to the carport.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Silver Hank says silver hair taking care of the mosquito fogging for the whole neighborhood, less chemicals too. Back in the day, I think we might have talked about it yesterday, when I was a little kid back down in Charleston, and they would do the mosquito fogging, you would see 100. You just see about every kid in the neighborhood, which would be about 100, running and playing it and all those chemicals.
Yeah. Getting malathion poisoning and
yeah. So I just sat here and just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Good. I'm glad I entertained you.
It was amusing. So you've got a bunch of stuff going out today?
Yeah, man. I had a big Labor Day weekend of sales. I've got, for the 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I got 23 packages.
Wow.
Yeah. Good. I need to get some of this crap out of here.
You also got to get some money for Gwen to spend when you're in Europe.
That's right.
She's going to want to buy some fancy clothes while she's in Italy.
Yep. I'm at the world headquarters, Sadie. The world headquarters of the Silverhair Stacker domain. It's like a kingdom.
Todd's
Oh,
out in
small.
the outbuilding behind the mansion. But
No, this used to be a big old den, 2.5 car garage conversion, but now it's the eBay room with all these shelves and crap everywhere.
Did you get your stuff out of the rest of the house?
Dang,
Todd.
It's out of the, yeah, that's just the edge of it. You can't see over those shelves to the next set of shelves. And then the far wall. I got stuff everywhere.
Hey, Truth. That's nice.
But it makes money. Dang. No, I still got a bunch of crap in David's old room. But Gwen, all the stuff that the boys left at our house 10, 11 years ago when they moved out.
Mm-hmm.
All that's in David's room too, so it's not all of my stuff. And
So,
David's room also has probably 8 boxes of stuff from my mom's house clean out that needs to be gone through and done something with. And
which one of them was it, David or Gage, that got married?
David. Yeah. They had their 2-year anniversary last month.
Well, that's good.
Keep your head during these crazy times. Yep, we're living in crazy times. I'm sure we'll hear more about crazy times on Scott's show in the morning.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I bet he's got a new rant going.
He probably
something. He will have something to entertain us with tomorrow over on. Tomorrow we'll be visiting Scott, the Bearded Pickers show. So
right.
If you're not.
I went over the weekend. They had a baby shower for my niece. Actually, she's Roberta's niece, but
that makes her your niece.
Huh? Anyway, this was the second one that they had, and different group of people, and they got so much stuff. I asked the father, James, I said, dude, where are you going to put all this stuff? And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, I have no idea. So they posted a picture yesterday, and they got stuff all over the place. This is the first one, their first one, my mother-in-law's first great-grandchild. The first grandchild on the father's side. And I was thinking to myself, of course, Roberta, she bought her a bunch of stuff too and has been buying her a bunch of stuff. I think gift cards would be the appropriate gift. But, being a guy, you got to buy all the cute little things. My future daughter-in-law made her a bunch of onesies for the baby and put custom stuff on it because she's got one of those, was it crickets? And so my opinion is gift cards. Lag says he would like to have Bitcoin. But like I said, they just got so much stuff. They left with 3 cars full of stuff.
And he has a Tesla.
Yeah, he has a Tesla, and she has a Toyota. Her mother had stuff loaded in the back of her car, and they own their own home, and it's a nice little house. But still, when you got 2 dozen packs of diapers and all the other stuff to go along with it, that makes a lot of stuff. It looks like they're a reseller.
A big old pack of diapers doesn't last very long, though.
No, it doesn't.
So they'll
Which
go
I don't.
through.
My boys were big. My boy. Well, Sergey was 10 months old. My twins were toddlers, but so we never had to buy any of the little wee ones. The little tiny diapers. But just so much stuff. And I know it. All the ladies were going, "Oh, that's really cute. Isn't that cute?" I'm thinking, which is going to be a little boy, so they don't have he didn't have all the flowers and ruffles, but anyway, I was just amazed at how much stuff they got, and knowing how much space they have to store all this stuff with. James said he might have to go get a storage building to put it in. So I know those people that I know Mr. Sadie has a house full of girls, so he got all that cute. Oh yeah, Mr. Sadie says they only buy diapers for the dolls now. But he's got all those granddaughters, so he's used to all the frilly stuff and all that kind of stuff, which, just because they're girls don't mean they're into that. Because my nephew posted a picture today or yesterday of his 4-year-old little girl standing beside their 2 hunting dogs because they'd been out hunting for quail. And that one's going to be high maintenance when she gets to be old. I can see that. She likes her clothes, but she goes out hunting and fishing with him. So anyway, I started watching a channel over yesterday while it was raining here, and it's called Chase After the Right Price. Does anybody follow him? His name's Chase.
I don't.
He bought like 50. One of his videos is like, I bought 50,000 video games. And another one, he's buying out a 50-year-old hobby shop. And the whole time he's buying this stuff, he's like, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. Lag, you watch it. Hey, Maggie. He buys. I think they mainly do video games, trading cards, and other collectibles in that anime gaming type thing. Yeah, he seems to be a good family man. But the whole thing is, the whole time he's buying all this stuff, because what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to build a barn behind this house, a big building. And so all this is going towards the building the big game, the big building. But even 50,000 DVDs or CD disc for games. That was a lot of boxes. But anyway, you had to go, y'all check it out for a little bit. But it's the thought of buying that much stuff at one time. At the game shop that he bought has, display cases and shelves and all of that stuff that's got to go to. Now he bought a bunch of trains. He got a bunch of trains, so very expensive trains, it looks like. So he'll come out okay. But like I said, it's just amazing to think about that much stuff.
I like medium large buyouts. I mean, you don't have to buy any inventory for a long time, and you can just sell off the pile. And I bought out Gwen's niece went out of video game business, and so she had all that stuff in a storage unit, and we bought her out for $1,200, and I sold probably $35,000 worth of video game stuff. And she just wanted rid of it. She didn't want to pay rent on the storage unit anymore. And she had sold some of it, but she said, I'm tired of messing with it. And I bought out the remaining inventory of that Western Wear store downtown a couple of years ago. All that's sold and gone. I love it, man. They were all brand new jeans and boots, and mostly jeans and boots. But there were a few hats and belts.
I think he said he was 28. But he was talking about that was, being that there's just him and one other guy that are like full-time listing and packing and shipping and whatnot. He said that would be like 2 years worth of listing.
Yeah.
But that's good. He'll always have merch. And then he's had a couple of yard sale type things where he sells off a bunch of the disc and whatnot.
Yeah, I was watching a video of Renee Lazota, one of those Storage Wars guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he was emptying out a storage locker that was all toys, and he'd bought the toys like years ago. This was his storage unit. He didn't even know what was in the boxes yet. And yeah, it was amazing how much inventory he had in that toy locker.
Well, that's what they were talking about on this buyout of this hobby shop. He was talking to the old guy that was selling it, and he's like, well, what's in these boxes? And the old guy looked at the boxes, and then he looked back at him and said, I have no idea. And but Chase said, he's like, based on the quality of the rest of his stuff, it's not junk in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with buyouts. It's not like a storage unit. There's going to be trash in every storage unit you buy. Just ask Mark.
Right.
Who comes on our morning show a bunch when I'm doing it. Does he ever come on when you're doing the show?
Who?
Mark, the storage stacker.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, yeah, if you just buy storage units, you get a lot of just trash. You're just making trips to the dumpster.
The
but
Mr.
if you
Sadie,
do a buyout, It's all good inventory.
Yeah. Mr. Sadie, he knows pretty much what's in there. The old guy that was selling the business, but there was just some boxes he just couldn't remember what he'd put in them. But it was cards. I mean, he had a little bit of everything in there. That's that goes back to the underlying feature of all of this is you got to have some place to put all this stuff. It's but that's good. That's going to be some good listing for those guys because they were trying to pick out items to recoup their money the fastest. Mr. Sadie
Renee keeps busy, that's for sure. He closed down his brick and mortar store though. So
Renee?
Yeah. He just he just about could be a professional poker player.
Oh. So that's how Mr. Sadie knows him.
No, Renee and all the storage wars people pretty much know about Mr. Sadie.
We have a celebrity in the audience then, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Storage Wars is starting their something like their 14th season this October. Yeah, Renee interviewed the auctioneer in a recent video he did. And it's a pretty good interview, I thought. And you know how people are always saying, oh, that's Storage Wars, it's staged, it's da-da-da. And yeah, they go on and on and on about the good things they find, but I don't think it's staged. I think what's in there, I don't think it's planted.
Mr. Sadie, Renee is an ambassador for the America's Card Room.
Yeah, when I go on America's Card Room, you can pick from a variety of avatars.
Right.
Well, Renee has an avatar of himself. It's a picture of him. So yeah, he's a big wig with America's Card Room.
What's your avatar?
What's that? Superhero guy.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, the one that's always cracking jokes.
Deadpool.
I think mine's Deadpool, or somebody that looks like him. They got all kinds of avatars. They've got princess looking ones for, Disney looking ones. They've got SpongeBob looking ones. They've got President Trump looking ones. They got President Obama looking ones. Lex says, my avatar is not Deadpool, it's Death Pile.
Oh, Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool. What are you two doing over here? Oh, Lord.
At least you hadn't had to put them down off the desk today.
That's because she's staring down somebody. I'm not sure who. I can't see him. I don't know whether it's her brother or she's just kind of like napping this morning. Yeah, everybody knows Roxy because she's always walking across the desk. Uh, so you got a lot on your agenda today.
Well, I packed 16 orders yesterday, but I've got 7 more to do this morning. After I get that done, get my shower and take all the packages to the post office. And then I guess I don't have a lot. I got to get those Coleman lanterns listed. The video I put out yesterday was me testing Coleman lanterns. And in the title I put, testing Coleman lanterns. Let's see, there's fuel, fire, and silver hair. What could possibly go wrong?
Did they all crank up?
I only tested 2, but they were both good. Yeah. One was fired right up, and the other one's fine. I think I just didn't put enough fuel in it. It didn't.
Are they the
Wouldn't
ones
go.
with the little net looking wick or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. Mantles.
Mantles, that's it.
Did they smoke? Actually, no, not much.
Good morning, Glock.
Little bit when they first started. The trick
When I
is
was-
though to take the glass off when you light them, because your glass will get all smoky if you just light them with the glass still on there.
When I was a kid and we camped, my dad had the Coleman lanterns and had the Coleman stove, where you'd pour the white gas into it in the
Sure.
tank and then have to pump it up to get the stoves to work. I never could get one of those things to work. I like just putting a propane can to it and turning it on and lighting it. But he did. I think my brother he had a big 3-burner camping stove, but I think my brother has it.
I think they're interesting. If I needed another hobby, I think I would buy broken down Coleman lanterns and get some of the tools and just go into restoring and repairing those, because they're kind of interesting. I don't know. Some people fiddle with guns. Some people mess with. Sadie messes with tools. He doesn't care what kind of tool it is. He's going to get a wrench and work on it. He's going to get a lawnmower motor and work on it. He's going to get a motor home and put new tubes in it and stuff. He's going to do this. He's a worker. He showed me a thermostat to his shop yesterday. I couldn't even tell what it was. It looked like a World War II nuclear missile launching piece of equipment. I mean, it looked old. Yeah.
Mr. Sadie, did you consult with Todd about how to get his lawnmower to quit smoking?
Oh, I know how to get it to quit smoking.
Turn it over and dump out all that excess oil out of it.
They got plugs in the bottom of them. You can open them up from the bottom.
Oh, that's right.
But my problem with that is because it's like a 22-inch, 24-inch wide, and it's got a pretty big motor on it.
Right.
I shouldn't lift it anymore. My old man back, I used to lift that sucker and throw it in the back of my pickup and go mow my mother-in-law's yard. But I just got to where I couldn't lift it up into the back. My F-250 the bed is like way higher off the ground than like a F-150. And I'm too cheap to buy a ramp.
Well, why don't you get you one of those lifts like they pick up motorcycles with? so
Again,
you can get up under and work
cheap.
under it.
I'm cheap. You know this about me.
You know,
I'm not going to spend money on something I'm going to use once every 2 weeks.
you probably can go get you a new lawnmower every year for the rest of your life for the price of one of those lifts.
I know. They had to cancel the space launch because of all the smoke.
Yeah,
Thanks,
my brother and
Sadie.
his wife were down there. They were supposed to watch it lift off. They were going out on a cruise, and they went down early to watch the launch. You know,
James, my back is just
old.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm with you on that, dude.
I mean, it doesn't take much. If I get like down on my hands and knees and planting seeds in the garden, that hurts my back now. And then, of course, lifting heavy things. It's like when I put this new office chair together and then I carried the old one out, man, the rest of the day and the next day, my back was so sore. I just can't lift heavy stuff anymore. It squeezes that old disc. Now, I don't want to get in such bad shape on my back that I have to go get surgery like my brother. God, he had three vertebrae fused on a steel rod. I don't want to have to do that. He was in bad shape for a long time, taking painkillers. I was like,
Lag says, I live in PA and my weather app gave me a high pollution alert every time Todd mows his grass. When I was about 20 years old, my dad had a 21-foot winter cuddy cabin boat because he liked to go offshore fishing. And we were out on our lake skiing and just hanging out. And every time it had a full set of curtains on it, a full top, canvas top. Every time we finished using that thing, when we got it home, we always rinsed it off, made sure the plug was out the back so it would drain if any water actually got into it, and then put the full canvases up. Well, one day we had one of these South Carolina thunderstorms, so we got the boat up on the trailer, got it home, parked it, and forgot about it. About a week later, I was mowing the grass and I was cutting the grass around the boat. And I just went over to the front of the boat and just kind of like picked up on it. And that thing went up like it was made of butter. I mean, it just rotated on the wheels. So I went and looked at the boat and it was full of water.
Mm-hmm.
Because we hadn't done anything that we always do. So I pulled the plug on it, went and got my dad, and my younger brother, he quit what he was doing and came over there, and we looked at each other and we're like, we're in for it. There's going to be hell. And there was. And so, all the water drained out. But the bad thing was it kept raining so hard. The bilge pump or pumps, because it had two on it, ran the battery dead. So my dad calls his brother, who is a mechanic and a really good mechanic, and he tells us all this stuff to do. Drain the oil out of it, put fresh oil in it, bump it so it would just kind of like rotate a couple of times. And repeat. And we did it for about a month. We didn't do anything. Our girlfriends, they just got the cold shoulder, because every afternoon it was about changing the oil in that boat. And we got to the point where we could run it run it for a little bit, and then we turn it off and drain it, just to get all that water out of it. Anything else that was up in that engine, because it had a 460. It had a GM motor. Is that a 460 or 464? Anyway, because it would fly. That boat would run 60 with 30 gallons of gas in it, and 5 people in it. I mean, it would roll. So we worked on that thing for about a month, and then we took it out. My uncle came up, and we took it out to the lake and ran it some. And my dad, good Lord, my dad used that boat for another 20 years. And but Lord, after that, there was never. It didn't matter whether there was a thunderstorm and lightning flying. The top went on it. The plug was pulled on it. And if we had to pull the plug, it probably would have not been any problems. But we didn't. So,
yeah,
it was a job.
Yeah, Craig says, girlfriend, she had more than one. Go, Tom, go. It's hard to imagine, isn't it, Craig?
My brother had a girlfriend who later became his wife. No, one is enough. One at a time. It's a 454. That thing would fly, though.
I used to have a friend back in my single days that tried to keep more than one woman on the string. He would run himself ragged. He wouldn't lie to him, but he sure wasn't going to give up information about having another girl or two.
That's just too much stress.
I know.
You know, you read in the paper about these guys that's got 2 families. One's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast, and then that's just too much stress. I'd have a heart attack.
Yep.
They
Yeah, he just kept his mouth shut about other women.
need to know.
Of course, he would have to come up with excuses why he couldn't go see this one because he was with the other one.
Like, I've already lived a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I'm to the point of now I like going on cruises and sitting on the balcony and watching the water go by. All that drinking and stuff is just, I can't do that anymore.
Carousing. Partying.
Yeah. And, you know, and honestly, in this day and time, you got to be careful. A guy's got to be careful. You might get hold of a crazy person.
Yeah.
And end up in jail. Or walking the plank, whatever. No. No, I'm talking about sitting on the balcony, Craig, and just looking out at the ocean and watching the water go by. Relaxing. No cats, no kids, just me and Roberta. But
yeah, you're going to run into gold diggers every once in a while if you're still single, and danger, Will Robinson. On the other hand, like our Gwen and I's recent trip to Europe back in October, we got on the bus, there were like 18 people on the tour, and 4 were older women who were either widowed or had been single their whole life, and they just had money.
Right.
And they didn't care about meeting another man in their life. I'm not gonna meet another man and I'm gonna spend my money on me, and they were nice ladies too, but all 4 of them. They're
That'll
on
be Roberta
Facebook friends
when I
now.
kick
Gwen's.
off.
What's that?
That'll be Roberta when I kick off. She's like, I've done that, been there, done that.
She'll have a little money and just go tour the world. Might as well.
She'll get on one of those round the world cruises, that last for 360 days.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people that are retired that once this cruise finishes, they just get off the boat and go to the other one down the pier and get going again. Or they just stay on the ship and just leave when the ship leaves the next time.
Yeah, well, there are some that they leave out. Let's say they leave out of New York, and a year later they're pulling back into New York, and you've been everywhere.
Lag says gold diggers are the funniest if you know they're gold diggers.
Well,
why does that make them more fun?
If I had money, and I didn't have Roberta, and young chicks are hitting on me, I would know that they're looking for some money. That's all they're looking for. Because who wants to be with a big old fat guy?
Yeah. It's kind of like that cute waitress that comes up and flirts with you, wanting a big tip. Yep.
Yeah. Julie says our best friends just got back from a Norwegian cruise. Next month they are headed to Italy and the south of France. They cruise about 6 times a year. So that's nice.
That's our goal.
Yeah, Roberta and I like to do that. A big tip. Tip. Gratuity. We're going to have to specify that instead of saying big tip. We're going to have to start saying a big gratuity. Because, Lag is still at that age where he's wanting to make jokes about everything. Why aren't you in school? If you're in Pennsylvania, you're on Eastern Standard Time, and high schools took in about about an hour ago. No, I take that back. High schools start at 7. Yeah. High schoolers have to be at the bus stop at like 5:45 in the morning. Because we have a shortage of bus drivers, and the middle schoolers don't get home till like 5 o'clock at night. This I can skip. Todd, when you were teaching music and you were in during marching season, was your band class the last class of the day?
Oh, I've had it first period and last period. I've never, and then the beginner classes spread all through the day. Yeah.
We had our band director, our high school and our middle school actually junior high back in them days, was side by side. And he would go over there and teach first, second, and third periods at the middle school, teaching beginner and, advanced for them band. And then he would have lunch, and then he'd go over to the high school, and then he taught one class. It was 6 period. And that's during concert season, that would be the concert band. During marching season, it would be we'd be inside practicing music, and then we'd go outside after school, and we would march in the student parking lot after school let out and all the cars were gone. Because God forbid you got on that football field, our football coach would have a freaking stroke.
Yeah, we only got to go practice on the football field on Tuesday nights. The rest of the time we had like a short field. It was about 60 yards wide. And I taught small schools, so all of my halftime shows were within the probably within 30-yard line to 30-yard line anyway, so. But I had to go put the lines out on the field myself. That was a pain.
Well,
Out
in
there in the
lieu
middle
of
of
us,
August and trying to put stripes on a grass field, jeez.
in lieu of us not using the football field, the head coach of the high school, he had a football field painted in the student parking lot. So my dad sent a crew over there and set the 4 corners of the field, and then the football coach and his team, they marked everything off. And that's what we practiced on. And during the summer, getting ready for football season, that asphalt would be so hot. Good days. Now our which we had 2 high schools back in those days. Now they've got 3.
Yeah, that field I had to practice on also doubled as a t-ball field and a kickball field for the elementary coaches, and they would wear out my hard worked on stripes that I would put on the field.
I love watching.
There was always that baseball diamond shape on one corner of my marching band practice field.
Well, our student parking lot didn't have any of the humps in it like they do now to slow these damn kids down from driving so fast. So that was good. So you didn't have to worry about catching your heel on a speed hump. But back in those days, we did, it was like a glide step. And then our senior year, we had a new band director, and we went to a course style step. But those were the days.
Well,
chicks.
Now the stock market started off green, and now it's gone down below the line to red.
What
time to sell?
You don't have anything else to sell, I thought.
No.
Or did you buy some more?
No. I was just speaking in general terms. It's time to sell. I still got some Amazon. It's down again.
I was listening to one of the finance people on YouTube yesterday, and he was talking about a lot of his friends have their retirement is in stocks and whatnot. And he said some of them are just like, I'm not going to have anything left if this keeps on.
Us too.
Lag, we had cars. Lag says, did the schools change once when cars were invented? I wouldn't know because I went to school. I was a driver in the mid 70s.
Yeah, we were glad when we didn't have to clean horse shit up out the parking lot.
Yeah, that's right. We, and we had real cars. I had a 1970 something Mustang 2 Mach 1 with a 302 4-speed positive traction. That sucker would run like a scalded dog.
Yeah, about my 10th year of teaching, we even took out the hitching posts.
Yeah, but you're in Texas. Kids ride horses to school in Texas.
That's right.
They were talking about one time. They were talking about having to get rid of some of the student parking, like only seniors would be able to park here in Charlotte because they needed the dirt to expand their school. That went over well, believe me.
I bet.
But if you get, we have a high school near us, and on the days Roberta has to go uptown to give blood at the hospital for her test to be run on. Going past the high school, it's insane. It's like, why are we paying for all these school buses if all these mommies are dropping off their kids at high school?
I know. My street is a busy highway at 7:30 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon because they built that elementary school a block and a half away. And the entrance to drop kids off is right at the end of our street. They did put a new 4-way stop sign on the corner, so slowed them down there.
It used to be if you lived closer than a half a mile to school, you had to walk to school. I don't know whether it's like that or not, but
yeah, our school was, if you lived a mile or more away from school, you got to ride the bus.
Like I wouldn't know.
Oh, heck yeah, they were different. Kids would be sending naked pictures of themselves to each other. And uh-oh, Tom froze. Can y'all still hear me? Put a 1 if you can still hear me. Tom is frozen. What the heck? Yep, he frozen over there too. Yeah, I think I'm still going. There he is.
Yeah, it said you had dropped out, and I was checking the internet. I mean, checking the YouTube channel to see. Oh, it said I dropped off. Okay.
Yeah, I looked at YouTube and you were frozen, and I was still moving around. So
okay. But Todd, we have seen. This sounds like an old man thing, but we have seen a lot of changes in our life.
Oh yeah.
Probably more than anybody else in the rest of mankind, the rest of mankind will ever know.
Oh,
I
I don't
mean,
know. If you
what
lived through the Civil War, you saw it change.
Industrial Revolution was too.
yeah, there was the Industrial Revolution and all that kind of mess. But I'm just talking about in average people. Telephones have changed, music system has changed, uh, music has changed. From albums and cassettes and 8 tracks to CDs and no, I don't remember War II. Lag. Thank you.
Yep.
You got to laugh out of my wife on that one, Lag. He just thinks that Todd and I are so old. But
yeah, so many things have changed in your whole life, during our lives.
It's telephones have gone from, dialing up and going, Bernice, get me Todd at 6247 quantum or whatever, however it worked back in them days. We're carrying a phone around in our pockets now, and we can talk any place in the world just by dialing a number.
Shoot, I remember the days when, I mean, it's not even been that long ago that the Boy Scouts of America wouldn't let gay people be the leaders, be scoutmasters, and they wouldn't let girls in. I remember, yeah.
I am all for equal everything, but I really think the boys got sold out when they started letting girls in the Boy Scouts. And my reason being that I've seen a group of Boy Scouts. When Sergey was in Scouts, we had to go camp out with a bunch of Boy Scouts one night. And they're anywhere from 13, they're teenagers, 13 to 17, almost 18. And they were acting like a bunch of 6-year-olds out there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the boys that was bridging up, his older sister was there. And she walked up, and it was like you flipped a switch. They were like, I got to be cool now. There's a girl there.
Yep.
I just feel like it kind of sold them out.
Yeah.
Tom was cool.
I don't know why a girl would want to be in Boy Scouts anyway.
Because they're invading their space.
I guess they just like doing that, I guess.
My grandma had one of those phones. Like, I still have one of those phones that plugs into the wall.
I remember when the Girl Scouts merit badges were like ironing.
Yeah.
I was in Girl Scouts.
Baking.
Fit with Nestle Quick. That was one of our.
Can I say that?
Sure.
Roberta says when she was a Girl Scout, they learned how to spit with Nestle's Quick.
Instead of chewing tobacco. Yep. You can tell where I'm from.
That's
and I remember going to Boy Scout camp and getting my riflery merit badge, They had a shooting range and a skeet range and learning how to shoot shotgun and 22 rifles and how to do it safely and clean your weapon after you're through. And yeah.
I
don't think that's allowed anymore at the Boy Scout camps.
What, guns?
Yeah.
They
might still have like They probably still have archery, but
The one here in Charlotte, last time Sergey was up there, well, actually, our camp that has that kind of stuff at is actually up in the mountains, not too far away from where Roberta grew up. And they have a rifle range and they have a shotgun range. They have skeets up there. But
okay.
when they had Cub Scout camp and they were doing the archery thing, there was an older lady that had been involved in Cub Scouts in Charlotte for 100 years, I think. She set the rules up. She says, y'all will kill somebody if you don't follow the rules. And she told the parents, if I see one camera out, I will have you removed from the park. Because she didn't want somebody to say, hey, Junior, look. And then him twist and turn that bow and shoot somebody standing beside him. That was the whole. I mean, I understand what she was saying. Now, at one point, she would have everybody cock the bow, and then parents could stand to the side and take pictures, but they were not to release the arrow. But she was a sergeant major out there. It was her way, or literally, there's the highway.
Mm-hmm.
But your kids grow up and they change. I had just bridged up to Boy Scouts when we moved from Charleston to Rock Hill, and I just never got back into it. There were just so many things we were having to deal with up here. But anyhow. All right, it's 10:02. It's time to get out of here. I got a son that should be popping in here any time now to take his brothers to get tuxedos for his wedding. I told his future wife, Angela, I said, you need to tell Vonnie he needs to come get his brothers and go get the tuxes. And his mother, Roberta, said, yeah, that's what he needs to do. Let's get this stuff done because it's coming at us quick now. November is rapidly approaching. So anyway, thanks for everybody for coming in and chatting with us today. Like Todd said earlier, it's going to be over on Scott's channel in the morning. So y'all come over there and support Scott. I'll probably be back on Thursday. And Todd, you going to be doing Friday?
Sure.
What'd you just sell?
Cha-ching. Cole Haan men's Cordovan loafers.
Cool.
$19.99 plus shipping on top.
How much does it cost to ship something like that?
Depends on where it's going, but between $8.50 and $11.
Are they in a shoebox, or are you sticking them in a padded envelope and sending them that away?
No, generally shrink wrap them together. I've shoved some paper inside the shoes so they keep their shape.
Right.
And then I wrap them with shrink wrap. And then I use, if they're tiny little women's shoes, yeah, I'll put those in a padded flat rate. But regular men's shoes are too long for a padded flat rate, so
Okay.
they go into the United States Postal Service free shoebox.
Okay. And then just pay calculated rating on it.
I just take, how much would it cost to ship a 2-pound shoebox to Seattle and then to Texas. And they're different prices, so I just charge a flat rate about halfway between the two.
Okay.
So if it's $11 to Seattle and $8.50 in Texas, I usually charge about $9, $9.50, and it averages out. I lose $1 if it's going to Seattle, and I gain $1 if it's going to Texas.
Yeah, but you only paid 50 cents for them shoes, so you're making out like a bandit.
Yep.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
Lag says, just put the label on the heel. tie the laces together and put the label on one of the heels.
I wonder how many people have shrink wrapped those things and then stuck a label on the outside of it. So anyway,
that's the way I get my bubble wrap. It's just shrink wrapped.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a great day.
See y'all on Scott's show in the morning.
Thanks, Todd.
You bet. Thanks for doing the show.